Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay, there we go. Okay, volume is in effect. Nice. Is pencil in effect? It is. Okay, this needs new tape. Okay, I think I need to knock this guy back a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to be trying to spot my blacks a little bit better in this one. There's nothing here, right? It looks like there should be, but I want to make sure I'm not crossing too many, making too many tangents here, because I've got a couple of going on. I want to try and minimize them a little bit going forward. Maybe we just do him this way so he's not crossing over too many other planes. No. One more in that way. There's a bit of a beefy ninja here. I guess there's nothing against it. I assume ninja organizations prefer like litheness in a ninja. That's probably, desirable, but they're probably equal opportunity, right? Let's throw the arm out a bit more here. This head here is a bit of a problem, because I don't think there's a way to... Yeah. I don't think there's a way to not cross. I mean, we can lift this arm. That's not bad. Yeah, that works. That works. Let's do that. Get rid of this nonsense then. coming out of here. Is he twisting? I don't think so too much, which is a bit of a shame, but... And feels a little bit better putting this guy here now. Yeah, that works fine. Hey, Rad, how you doing, buddy? Wow. I feel like I should make this like Def Leppard Sunday. Just really divide the audience. Among people who like can't stand Def Leppard and people who will let it slide. It's not a matter of people who love it and people who hate it. I'm doing all right, man. Let's see if I can still have some fun with this piece. It seems unlikely, but like at this point, it's just kind of like, okay, what, you know, like I don't think I can achieve what I want with it, so what fun is there left to have in it? I think I can still find some. Got to get rid of some of this pencil, though. There's an awful lot cluttering everything up. I used to love Def Leppard. I think that's a lot of people. Like, I used to love Def Leppard when I was 12. Maybe 10, you know? Like, I can remember Pour Some Sugar on Me coming out and thinking that was the shit. I don't imagine I'll be finishing this thing today. I might be getting close. But there's an awful lot of little things to work out in here. It's more than half done at least, so that's something. I don't mind how that chin turned out. Yeah. And I mean, you know, I had, I think it was probably Pyromania. I can't remember, I don't know, they all sound the same, all those Def Leppard albums. It was either Hysteria, I think actually, it was actually Hysteria. Yeah. And I had that in like the mid-90s when it was very much not okay to have that album. Or, you know, like, not cool anyway, definitely. I don't think I told anybody, but I definitely had it. And listened to it often. Yeah, no, yeah, I had the tape. Yeah, me too. It's a fun one, you know. I want to say there's nothing wrong with liking Def Leppard. I don't know if I can back that up though. You know, it's like, okay, let me hear your argument. It's like, oh, I don't have one. Let's hear a bit of defense. I don't know. Rocket? Yeah, say Malay Malum. That's what I got, man. Might as well use this as an exercise to try and refine brush techniques a little bit, right? The problem is the way to refine brush techniques is to work at it every fucking day. And do those, like, the tapering exercises. And I don't have that in me. Excuse me, you're not the star of this show. Maybe I can develop a little bit of a lighter touch with brush strokes. That's something I don't really spend any time on. So, like, why not? Is that? Let's do some. I mean, I feel like there's Frank Miller clothing, like hanging drapery, I feel like is very close to Mignola shapes sometimes. So we're gonna try that. And I don't want you anymore. I don't want the little nubbin on top of his head. Brush pen like Kim G. I don't know who Kim G is or what Kim G is. Let me look that up. South Korean short track speed skater. Probably not. I don't think I can approach their command. I do have a couple of brush pens. I've got my combos still. And I'm going to have those until the end of time, I think. Oh, Kim Jung-ji. Hey, Jerry. How you doing, man? Kim Jung-ji. That sounds more familiar. Oh, that fucking guy. Is that the guy who, like, just can't stop drawing and goes constantly? Or went, I suppose. I didn't realize he passed away. And he'll just, like, start a drawing and make it this ridiculously detailed thing without really knowing where it's going, or seemingly at least not knowing where it's going. I remember seeing a couple of videos on that guy. It's like, wow. Okay, I thought I liked drawing okay, but maybe not. Because I don't like it that much. Get your Eric Larson hands out of here. Eric Larson hands don't quite work with Mignola. I don't think it. Well, I was gonna say I don't think much of what I'm gonna do is gonna work with Mignola, so I'm not too worried about that. But I just want to keep it at least a little bit in theme. Gold Coast. I don't think I'm familiar with that. Yep, you gotta need the big triangular fingernails. And everybody loves the Larson knuckles, right? Where you're just like, you know, what's a Larson fist from the front, like that, right? And only, you divvy it up, and then you make sure that they all kind of bulge out from the middle. And really knobbly knuckles. Gotta have the speed lines coming out from the knuckles there. And then, yep, that seems about right. And then, if you really want to make it look like Larson these days, you take your Sharpie and you do it as quick as absolutely possible. There, Larson fist. Okay, maybe it didn't quite come out right, but I don't have quite as much practice at it as Eric himself, obviously. Oh, now it all smells like Sharpie in here. I haven't used one of those in a while. Forgot about that. Oh, the gold. Oh no, I live on the Sunshine Coast. Gold Coast is something different, I think. And thanks. Yeah, it's not something I usually do, trying out other people's style. Every once in a while. And it's not a bad tool for picking a couple of things up, you know? Or decide, or I don't know, like just kind of confirming whether, like I don't know. Sometimes I'll see a technique or some aspect of somebody's style, and be like, man, I'd like to try that someday. And then it'll never occur to me to actually do it. And then it's like, well, you know, you homage one of their styles, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, no, I should have been trying this. My finger's a little bit thin. Yeah, that's gonna have to get extended a little bit and then white it out at the tip. Yeah, no problem, man. Nobody knows about it. It's fine. There will not be any like, well, how have you not heard of the Sunshine Coast? Nobody's heard of the Sunshine Coast. It's a nice place, you know. It's like, I think it's like 14 degrees out today, something like that. $11. That's still pretty nice. It's like, you know, when I'm done here, I can probably go out for smoking a t-shirt. There's all these fucking ravens in my neighborhood. It's kind of awesome. And there's a couple of bald eagles as well that hang out. and like endless crows. It's a fucking bird conservatory. It's kind of dope. Oh, this thing's dying on me. I suppose that's fine. Yeah, that's a little bit of a chubby ninja here. It's all about the angle. Plus the camera puts on 10 pounds. There's that too. If I didn't draw him, he'd totally look thinner. But like drawing that Sam Keith thing, I feel like I confirmed a couple of things I wanted to try, do a bit more often. Just like, I don't know, maybe a bit higher density of line work. And then it is a little bit funny going from that to this. You know, it's where it's all about minimalism. It's like no wonder you had difficulty getting a groove on this, I guess. Oh yeah, the Jim Lee eyes. Yeah, that was. I think that was my first attempt to. That was one of the first ways I tried to draw eyes, was copying Jim Lee. Didn't quite feel right. Plus, you know, I do the thing where I've eventually just relied more on looking in the mirror. So like eyes, nose, ears, all that, you know, all the stuff that's kind of weird. Marketing for tourism is calling it the Caribbean of the North. Really? The Caribbean only cold. I mean, you know, people from the Caribbean would definitely think so anyway. Work out the pencils till... Definitely should sometimes, but this has been an interesting experiment because, like I said, I never tried this style before, and it's required a lot of correction. If I know what I'm drawing, then you know, if I'm drawing something in my style and I have a good idea of what I want, then yeah, I might do some tighter pencils, or I might not, just because I know what I want, and it'll, it's like, okay, I just need a kind of a vague idea of where to direct it. But this is all, this was like, I didn't even know exactly what the shapes were going to be. And I feel like I'm going to have more fun figuring that out in the ink than in the pencils. because the pencils, I can't get a good enough idea of what it's eventually going to look like. Oh, you know, I mean, honestly, if you were to ask me what I think is a better way to, like, just method, I think going heavy on pencils and then going quick on, like, fast on inks is probably best. It just, I never do. Couldn't really tell you why. You know, I'll sit down and go, you know what, I think I'm going to do more in-depth pencils today, and that just doesn't happen. Hey, Jay, how you doing, bud? I'm not happy with this at all. And 11 degrees up here is in Celsius, Jerry. So I think that's probably close to, I don't know, like 70 or something. Not the formula. What am I going to use the formula for? 50? Oh, really? Oh. So maybe it's a bit chillier, I thought. I do love the ink. I love throwing down the ink. Absolutely. And thanks, Jay. I appreciate it. This is, I've been attempting because the Keith thing, you know, honestly, the Keith thing turned out fucking great. And it's like, oh shit, I should try more homages. And I'm going to try a Mike Mignola homage, because that's exactly the same thing. And not the polar opposite. You know? You know, the best things that worked about that Keith thing were tight, like highly condensed detail. And Mignola is no. Mignola is just shapes. And it's not shapes that, like, I have difficulty discerning what the shapes are, like where you put them. So it's been an interesting exercise. I'm learning a couple of things from it, I think. Mostly, don't, you know, try to avoid tangents a little bit better. It is easy to hide behind the noodling. You make it dense enough, and nobody knows any mistakes you made. Or, you know, you gotta, like, hunt them down. Pure silhouette, I think. Yes, when you use less lines, they all have, exactly. And that's not my method at all. My method is throw on more lines until it looks right, you know. So this kind of thing that probably would have benefited more from more detailed pencils, as Rad was suggesting. It just didn't happen. Again, because I couldn't visualize, you know, like even if I go very exact with the pencils, I don't think I can. It's not dark enough to visualize what it'll look like in the inks for me. So I just kind of made some shapes and figured I'd sort it out. And it's like, no, not really. That's okay. I thought I had a fairly clean line myself. It's like, nah, not really, but, you know. These guys have, you probably should have some kind of, no, not knee pads exactly. Just like pantaloons. There, that's not a bad pose. You know, I like a clean line style myself, but Actually, executing it isn't always. I don't know. I don't think 100% works for me. I might be getting a little closer in some respects. Yeah, I don't know if you catch any of my review videos, Rad, but I was talking about that recently in my X-Men Wildcats crossover video. Because it's done during that time when Jim Lee has a style very heavily influenced by J. Scott Campbell, even though, like, you know, Jim Lee's his boss, which I never, it's always just like, why would you do that? You're Jim Lee, you're the guy he looks up to. But, you know, I mean, if something looks fun and exciting, I guess I get it, but still, you know, maybe just kind of develop your style, that the one that people like. But yeah, he's that whole book is done in his J. Scott influenced style. So it's very little, like there's shadow, but it's not dramatic shadow. Oh shoot, sorry, didn't realize my camera dropped. I'm like, what is that on the screen? How are we doing? There, much better. Okay. Sorry about that. Didn't hear it. Usually I can hear it fall. But, yeah, anyway, what I was saying about Jim Lee with that style is it doesn't use a lot of black. It uses very thin line work. It's interesting because he did seem to kind of take up the challenge of page design, because J. Scott Campbell's got very interesting page designs. I think he's got a few tricks that he likes to reuse a lot, but they're pretty good tricks, you know, that you don't always see a lot outside of a J. Scott comic. Never good when an older established band changes its style to stay relevant. Yeah. Or I mean, the kind of the classic example is when grunge started, and you got a whole bunch of hair metal bands trying to all of a sudden sound like Sincere, you know. It's like, this isn't your deal. What are you doing? But that doesn't really work for the context of the conversation, I'm realizing. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, I think everybody wanted to see just more of this style that he had at the end of his Uncanny run. I was saying this to one of the guys in the comments. One of the big things I think about why the end of Jim Lee's tenure at Marvel was so disappointing, and everything else since then has been kind of disappointing, is because we all wanted to see that heavy Barry Windsor Smith influence that was going on at the end of his Uncanny run developed. And we figured that, you know, that was what he was going to do. He's going to stick around on X books for a long time, and we get a good long run. You know, he'd probably miss a bunch of deadlines, but that's okay. They get fill-in artists for those. Where the fuck did my eraser go? I had it just there. It is. Thank you. And then when he came, and it just kind of, it would be like Art Adams, if Art Adams stuck around, and produced comics, at least sometimes. But it didn't happen because he just, he had to go found a company, and then he got rich. And I think once you get rich, that urge to, the motivation to stick with the grind, just like, okay, why am I doing this? Because it is a grind. Producing monthly comics. I think there's some fun to be had in it, but at the same time, like that is your life. Unless you're John Byrne, and then you get bored and you take up extra books. Feeling Jim Lee on Punisher, like the War Journal stuff. Yeah. Why you? Things getting all washed out. Okay, I gotta dry this thing out a little bit, I think. That was an interesting time for Jim Lee because he didn't have everything down 100%, but he was still hungry. I think the most interesting time for Jim Lee is the early part of his Uncanny run. So like 268 to 270-ish, 272, like the Extinction Agenda stuff. Because most of the awkwardness is leaving, but he's still trying out new stuff. There's still a little bit of awkwardness, but 275 is the best thing Jim Lee's ever drawn. I was a little, when I was starting out, I was a little bit hesitant to say that because it's like, I don't know for sure. It's like, no, I do. There's nothing Jim Lee's ever drawn that's matched that. And that's in large part because that was a Homage Studios production. So that was Jim Lee, Will Portasio, and Scott Williams working communally to get that book done and to make it look as good as possible. So Will Portasio was helping with the inks and breakdowns and everything, which just lends energy and creativity that tends to lack sometimes when you leave Jim Lee and Scott Williams alone on their own. What does Jim Lee work for Wildstorm do you like? Not much, to be honest. I feel like on Wildstorm, he's already kind of done being interesting, I mean, okay, I don't know if it's technically even Wildstorm at that point, but Deathblow #1 was very interesting, actually. Where he was, again, he was trying out new stuff. Whenever trying out something where he was trying to improve. I always thought that was the best because it's just, he gets lazy otherwise. Like creatively lazy, rather. Not in terms of just the amount of work he puts in the page, because he's always good on that. Hey, Robo, how you doing, man? I don't think Jim Lee, I would ever accuse Jim Lee of having low work ethic. on a book, on any book that he's ever done. But creatively lazy, yeah, I'd call him that. In that he likes to stick to the stuff that he knows works. And he doesn't like to take chances. I think that's a kind of an essential part of Jim Lee's personality, really. But yeah, I'm it's interesting because I'm on my channel. I'm coming back around again to the Jim Lee era. Like, it's right around the corner. And that was where I started my my X-Men commentaries, was issue 275. Back when I didn't really, I hadn't read a whole bunch of X-Men. Not recently, anyway. And, like, I hadn't gotten a whole bunch of information about what was going on at the time. I didn't know really what Homage Studios was, so I kind of credited Jim Lee with everything in 275. And it's like, well, he wasn't really he wasn't all of the reason that book was great. He was the finisher. And, like, Jim Lee's a fantastic finisher. Again, I'll never take that away from him. Or try to, All right. I mean, if we're talking later Jim Lee, I think it's more about cardio, because you got to get that lean figure, right? But no, if you're going for the Colossus build, yeah, you're gonna have to put some work in. Good luck with that, buddy. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? I like comics from the 90s till about 2006 to 2008. Everything after that is hit or miss for me. Okay. Personally, I'm 80s, 90s. I don't think it got better. In terms of creativity, like, it's all about the 60s, but and the 70s. I mean, I didn't have enough issues or whatnot, but I don't understand X-Men Chris Claremont. Yeah. It's tough because it's just such a long-running story, and there's no there are jumping on points in that Chris Claremont would always explain things. If you go back and check it out, he's usually, if there's any kind of element that requires a little bit of lore, he usually at least gives you a cursory explanation. But there's just so much to catch up on, or to keep up with on a Chris Claremont book, I suppose. Like, particularly a book like that, where he was writing it for fucking 20 years. Kind of had to be there, Epic Arch. Yeah. Never came close after that. No, I don't know if there's much that comes close to matching the Claremont stuff afterwards. Yeah, for X-Men. It was more about like checking in with the characters, you know, because it's just, you know, like a hangout book a lot of the time. You know, I like this guy, I like this guy. They've all got these different dynamics. They all work off of each other in this way. And sometimes they change, and I got to keep up with that shit, you know? I think we're just going to put some shapes in the middle here to try and pop stuff out. You're vibing with 80s comics whenever we get an old back issue? Yeah. They're just, you know, like they're a bit more sincere. That's the thing. These days comics, you know, they always gotta be ironic, right? They're always gotta be like meta and winking at the camera. I don't know if this is really helping anything, these little shapes here. But yeah, the whole Guardians of the Galaxy stuff where, you know, you always have to be quipping and everything has to be undercut with a joke. And everything is kind of like with the, I don't know, like treating the audience like an insider and less like, you know, here's something, a story you should get invested in. That shit gets old. Okay, I don't know what this stuff is exactly that's in the background here that's kind of bunching up. But it's providing a little bit of contrast. Let's do that. Liquidation store in America called Ollie's, and they sell from time to time 5 to 10 packs of comics. Yeah, I mean, shit, those be in dollar stores up here every once in a while. It's like, fuck, why not? If they got like one comic you want, why not check it out, right? I've been hearing about Ghost Machine. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with them. That's Jeff Johns, is it? I don't think I've ever really read much of his stuff. Like I know Ghost Machine is its own publisher now, but I think that was who started. I think, but yeah, they seem to be thinking more about quality than most other publishers. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Just leave it. It makes it worse. Could be something there, sure. I'm pretty sure before I started rebuying my comics, I think that's where I got another copy of Savage Dragon #1, was in a dollar store, like, multi-pack. Which is kind of funny. Just thinking about the 90s collector mentality, you know, collector's item, first issue! Get 4 for $1 in 2015 or whenever I got it. I don't think that exactly started me down the path to getting my comics back again, but, you know, after that, I did have it in my house, and I did check it out every once in a while. I was like, hey, these are kind of fun. Just let it fester in the back of my brain. Not too big on 70s books. I mean, there's definitely good ones. Like, for any era, there's good, there's bad. It depends what you're looking for. If you really dig the modern, like, slow boil, I don't know, everything has to be bombastic, but only after 50 pages of dialogue in a coffee shop. Then, you know, it's going to be tough to find something in that mode in 70s comics. But if you're looking for, you know, you got to kind of approach it on its own terms, right? Good comics, I feel like I'm a producer for Netflix reading the comic rather than a reader. Oh, okay, like it's a pitch? I thought we were kind of past that with comics, seeing as how the well's kind of drying up with like the MCU and shit. It's an Image imprint. Oh, so like Skybound. I mean, not like Skybound, because that is solely Kirkman's deal, right? Where he's the guy who decides everything about it. I kind of know what's going on these days, but most of what I get from Perch, who does not run a news channel, which is funny. Skybound's always popping out good shit. Okay. I read Walking Dead for a while. I read it up until, I think, Something to Fear, with the whichever one it was, where they had like zombie whisperers who would like travel incognito with the zombie pack. It's like, okay, this is getting old. Well, Transformers are coming to my local LCS for a Energon universe. Okay. I certainly don't mind Invincible. You know, I like the commitment to let's see through the progression of us from very early days to, you know, kind of late stage end of the, you know, like Superman essentially. That does seem to be Kirkman's thing, where he wants that progression. You know, he really wants to follow like the minute details of a journey. You know, which is fine. Oh, shit. You know what? I gotta get my knee brace. Hang on a second here. I don't know what it is, but my knee's been stiffening up on me lately. One story, there's an ending that's rare. Yeah, no, I mean, like he had like a destination in mind for that, and he got it. You know. Same with Walking Dead, I think. But I don't know. You couple that with, I mean, Walking Dead. You couple that with trying to be too realistic, and it got boring for me. Death of Superman may be the best story ever told with art and issue count. Okay. You are entitled to that opinion. Maybe don't watch my video on that book, though. It's an older one now, but still. I think my opinion still holds on that. Ain't a balloon book, I do. It was, you know, it was a fun event. Get rid of that little onion thing there. That works better. But I've never thought the Death of Superman. Like that's the thing. I didn't really read much of the progression in that, because I wasn't a DC guy. You know, I picked my side. My side was Marvel, and then all the good artists left Marvel, and it's like, okay, well, that's what you get. But I appreciate that they built up to it. That's good. The finale sucks, in my opinion. I like the idea for all splash pages. I think it was poorly executed, because they didn't get a good artist. They got Dan Jurgens. You know, Dan Jurgens is fine, house style kind of guy. He can hold his own on a monthly book, but he's not exciting event guy by any means. But then that kind of ended up being DC's, like, just their way, like how they did that shit and how they did events was like, okay, let's give it to our tenure guys who have been good soldiers all this time. Well, that's nice. It does mean your book kind of sucks. Same with Breaking the Bat. You know, like I've got a bit of a soft spot in my heart for Jim Aparo, because that was the guy, you know, you always saw his Jinx, exactly. You always saw his art when I was growing up, everywhere. So it's like, yeah, no, that's what Batman looks like, is Jim Aparo art. But like, man, that fucking Batman issue sucks so hard. Everything is weak, looks weak in that. again, just my opinion. Maybe other people's opinion, but this should not have this much shadow on it, or this much edge lighting on it, really. You want to put some... You got to backlight it. Maybe we are learning a couple lessons here. Nightfall wasn't... Yeah. I like none of those. I like one of the DC events I did like was Flashpoint. I thought that was done pretty well. I got the trade for that, and it's like, shit, that's actually really good. Decent looking art, but like they focused on the story, and the story turned out all right. Superman Reborn after with the lightning powers, that's way worse. Well, that just went on for fucking ever, right? I don't know what they were thinking with that. Where we have to update Superman for the 90s. It's like it's not Superman if you do, but sure. I remember Hitman characters complaining about that and long hair Superman. Everyone who's in a fan base has an obsession with shipping or comparing. Oh, yeah, it's internet culture. Whatever, that doesn't count in my opinion. That's not remotely relevant. It's like, I don't know. I just kind of stay out of any of the fan stuff. I don't pay attention to, like, I don't join any message boards, and I do have the one our Discord channel, but we don't talk about any of that kind of shit. We don't usually even talk about events very much, which is probably a problem with the channel, actually. Might be why it's not super lively these days. But no, I don't. I never got that shit. The shipping people. It's like, oh, so you just like to fantasize then? Is that what you mean? You ship them? It's like, okay. Why are you giving that extra weight than just saying fantasize? No, that's what I was going for, right? Yeah. That'll work fine. Now, this is not really a sword here. It's really unhealthy. Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like as soon as we started being okay with fanfic, like doing whatever you want in fanfic, it's like, okay, you're kind of giving permission to an awful lot there, you know. It's like, why are you giving this weight? It's like, it's fine, yeah, write what you want, absolutely. Don't pretend it matters. Or like anybody else should give it any kind of credence. What is this? Oh, that's the 01. That's not going to work. Let's get that sword in there before I forget about it. Slash fiction was the old... I mean, slash? I think I've heard of that. I don't know what splash fiction is. Let's make a plan as well. Why not? There we go. That was fun. Hey, Akira, how's it going? Big cartoon series called Amazing Digital Circus. Nope, not familiar. They're putting the last episode in theaters, then 2 weeks for free. The fan was angry about it. Okay, I have no idea what any of that is. All right. It's so, like, I don't know. It's so nice sometimes to not be in that group, like, to not be up on that shit. It's like, sometimes, like, yeah, I think I'd like to be at least aware of what's going on in comics, but at the same time, it's like, okay, but I don't want anything to do with whatever these people are doing, you know? Getting upset all the time. I don't have fucking time for that. That's shit to do. What the fuck are we listening to? Oh, Uncle Tom's Cabin. That's gonna take too long to get to. Quiet Riot doesn't fuck around. Okay, that kind of works. It's not as good as I was hoping, but you know. I'm glad you like it, Robo. Thank you. It's not what I have in my head is the problem, you know. It doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. It's just I had an idea in my head of what I wanted to be, and it's like, well, it's not that. It's like, well, shit, you know. It's never gonna look like in our heads. I know. You know, what can you do? It's like, can I still make it look all right? I think I can. Yeah, you know, there's definitely some fun stuff going on in here. I don't think I can call it a Mignola homage at the end of this. Civil War, the Skrull invasion. Yeah. Hey, Raven, how you doing, man? Skrull Invasion pretty much ruined events. That's way too recent for me. I don't know what you're talking about there, Robo. Or was it Robo? Oh, that was Jerry, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I was out on superhero comics. Shit. 1993? 94. I think 94. Everything since then has been kind of, you know, not quite up there for me. There's a couple of good ones, but every time I'm like, I'm going to be inspired by this thing, I'm looking at some stuff for inspiration. I'm drawing it, it ends up looking like usual Robo stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, I get that. That's one of the reasons when I do one of these like homages, I usually work directly from a source so that I know what lines to imitate. Otherwise, if I'm making up my own lines, it tends to look just more like me. Big stacks of birdie rights and magic cards. Those are all right. Yeah, but like I said, that was what I got. 94 was when I got out of superhero comics, mostly. You know, I was still buying Wizard. I was still keeping up with it. I think every once in a while I'd buy something to see what was going on, but, you know, they didn't have any of the artists I liked anymore. What are they going to do? One book I think you might have a good time reading, maybe not as Future Shock from Malibu Comics. It's the last thing they ever published. Okay. I don't know. I already I did a review for Protectors number 20, which I still can't believe I actually did that. That was the end of Protectors. That was when they were transitioning to the Ultraverse. And their initial kind of, you know, just cheesy late 80s-esque, early 90s superhero thing was outdated. And like, it's some goofy shit. I don't know if anything Malibu can ever put out can top that. Even aerosols. Okay. Dinosaurs for Hire. Yeah, that's what I kind of want to check out sometime. I think a lot of people have good memories of that too. I think that is one of those like really good, like really nice looking comics. Why don't I have one of those yet? Dinosaurs for Hire from 19... You want the Malibu ones? Maybe not. Yeah, maybe you do. First series, Eternity. For $265. Shit, yeah, why not? So that's probably not the first one then. I don't know if I see anything earlier, though. I don't think I do. How is the first appearance of Dinosaurs for Hire that cheap? It's ridiculous. There's the Malibu one. Also not expensive. Yeah, those I should get those at some point. Is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs the one I'm thinking of? I think maybe it is. Yeah, I think you're right on. Okay. So I remember that top series vaguely. I don't have any of that one either. I do kind of need that. I don't want the 3D one. Get out of here with that shit. There's not much for Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, eh? Shit. Okay. Well, maybe those are both in the cart. Maybe I'll get those in a few months. We'll see. And speaking of, I saw somebody mention the Jim Lee cards, the X-Men cards. But one thing my partner found recently was, well, she just insisted that we go looking through some old boxes. Because, that'd be fun. And I'm like, that's not gonna, it's just going to be like old clothes and shit. It's like stuff from when I was a kid. It's like, that was, at first all it was like old T-ball shirt and like Cubs sweater, like the next rung down from Boy Scouts. But also in there was all my old trading cards. So like that I just kind of had completely lost track of it. I assumed that I would never have again. So like my Marvel Series 1, Series 2, my X-Men Series 1. Not my X-Men Series 2 because a lot of those suck. So I must have let those go. Including a bunch of the old ones, the older cards I had too, from before I saw Marvel cards. So like Fright Flicks, Ninja Turtles cards. Not the old one. Get out of here. I don't remember what else. My Gulf War military trading cards, because that was the crowd I ran with for that year. I've got the Youngblood cards that came with the issues because I have the issues. If they released a separate set, I've never seen them. I don't think I collected any Image cards. Because, I mean, by that point, I was all in on comics. But when I was, like in 1988, 89, 90, it was all about trading cards for me. Like I wasn't, like, big into a culture or anything. It was more just, if those cards look interesting, I must buy them and see what I get. Never paid attention to keeping them in good condition. Just kept putting them in my binder, taking them out of my binder, putting them in my binder, taking them out of my binder. So all the corners get fucked up. What I really miss about the cards is the opening them. You know, like I've looked at cases of, like, you can still get sealed cases of cards from 1990, 91, whatever you want. It's just, it costs ridiculous fucking amounts of money where you're shelling out like a couple of grand maybe. And it's like, well, I can't justify that. Not for just like it being fun to open a pack of cards again. But yeah, no, that was always the best part, was who did I, particularly with the Marvel Series 1 cards, because I didn't know a lot of the characters back then. So, like, you know, I get like the Enchantress, and it's like, I don't know who this is. But, you know, it's got all the information on the back. It's perfect. I always like the presentation for that, too. I always got the cards for the artwork. Well, I mean, the second series, that was when I started getting them for the artwork. Marvel Series 2, and Marvel Series 2 had the best artwork because they started getting the Image guys in on that, you know, before they got the Image, of course. But like, there's a few Jim Lee cards, there's a few Eric Larson cards, there's a bunch of Eric Larson cards in Marvel Series 2, actually. There might be a Mark Silvestri, although I think he mostly did he did a couple in Series 3 is what I'm thinking. And a whole bunch of Art Adams cards. And it's like, I didn't know who AA was, but it's like, I think I need to find this out. Yeah, the first series, there are multiple artists, but actually, it's interesting. Most of the art is done by Tom Morgan, who was an inker who eventually became an editor. He did have a couple of series as pencilers, like Punisher 2099, which did not look good. But apparently, I guess he just heard about the card set before anybody else, or put two and two together that they were paying like page rates on these cards, and you know, you didn't have to put in the same kind of detail that you did on a page, so you could just crank them out. And he just like he got all like dozens of them, and he just started drawing them. He started handing them in. It's like, okay, I guess we don't need this one anymore. So dude managed to turn that into a minor payday. Here, let me, you know what? I will get my Series 2 cards real quick. Hang on. I got to do this. Okay. Let me just find it real quick. I think they're mostly here. There might be a couple missing. So, is there any wet ink here? Because I'm going to put them down on top. Okay. So, like, we got like, oh, these are going to be really small here. Maybe I'll just hold them up here-ish. Maybe I'll position the light a little bit better then. Can I position the light a little bit better? Here, you go that way. And you... Mars Attacks was fun. There was like the Bisley card and everything. Or there was a couple of Bisley cards, maybe. Okay, well, this will work over here. Just don't... Maybe not. If you could stay put, that'd be great. Everything wants to swing back. Okay, now let's say that works. So, start with Eric Larson, Spider-Man. That's pretty strong. You weren't going to get Todd, you know. Number 2 is John Romita Jr., Daredevil. And not like, you know, he dicked around on it. Like, he came up with a fun-looking drawing for it. Another Eric Larson. You got The Thing. And, you know, it's kind of a simple drawing, but this is at the time when I think Eric Larson is just about at his best. So he can come up with fun-looking drawings like off the cuff like that. You got Art Adams, Marvel Girl, which, again, not the most interesting composition, but I mean, he threw in all the line work, so that's all right. Steve Lytle was a guy who got a couple. Came up with a pretty damn cool Phoenix card. He was another one of those names I felt like I needed to find out more about. Ron Lim's in here. I'm not a huge Ron Lim fan, but, you know, he does okay. I don't think he got the Silver Surfer card for some reason. Maybe he wasn't drawing that yet. No, he would have been. I'm just going to pass over the Tom Morgan cards because there are still a lot of them in here, I think. Again, Art Adams Iron Man, and the Art Adams ones, I think he did on oversized. Like, there's an accepted size for doing trading cards where it's like half the size of a board, I think, around there. And he would like double it so that he could put in more lines. And again, another Eric Larson Punisher. You know, it's okay. Art Adams Deathlock. That's pretty great. Jim Lee Gambit, because naturally, Jim Lee's going to do Gambit, right? Any other notable ones here? There's a couple. Oh, yeah, Jim Lee Havoc. You know, he got a couple in. I think he's got a Wolverine in here as well. Another Art Adams. Like, Art Adams has a bunch. You know, again, Death's Head, too. Also, Art Adams. Speedball. I don't know why Art Adams is drawing Speedball, but it's in here. Ghost Rider. I remember talking about, like, you know, like I said, Ghost Rider here. I don't know. I remember talking to Jay about this stuff. And it, you know, we were talking about all the great projects that Art Adams had in the works. And, like, you know, how none of them got done. It's like, yeah, he was too busy drawing like 24 Marvel cards. Oh, yeah, okay. Art Adams Wolverine as well, in kind of a classic Art Adams Wolverine pose. That's pretty great. Okay, Jim Lee. Hi. Jim Lee doing Sabretooth as well. I feel like there's some like crazy detail on Galactus. Again, Art Adams is just like all over this fucking set. His Fin Fang Foom is still one of the best looking cards I think I've seen. You know, give Art Adams some monsters to draw and he'll just go nuts on that shit. I think that's about it for, you know, like there's still a bunch of interesting stuff in here. But those are some highlights anyway. New Fantastic Four by Art Adams. It's like it's not a great looking, or well, it's not a great story in the Fantastic Four comic, but Art Adams was drawing it there too. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's enough for now. There's not a lot of variation in the artist in series 1 because it was more, let's just give you the characters, you know? Oh, now I get to try and figure out how to get this thing back. Hang on. Yep. So, appreciate you guys allowing my digression there. I feel like viewers might have gone up when I did that. I did review a couple of those. I reviewed, I'm not sure who Nighthawk is. Do you mean Darkhawk? Because I reviewed Darkhawk #1. This is not. Let's make this thinner. Slide it. But yeah, no, I did check out Darkhawk #1. I checked out Deathlock Special #1. Night Thrasher, I don't know if he ever had his own series. Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure he did later on, but I don't know if he did in the 90s. I did check out New Warriors #1. Oh, hey, you know, if there's a 90s book you're curious about, there's a decent chance I reviewed it. Yeah, give it that. I also did Sleepwalker. Did Nomad. I did Hellstorm. I did all sorts of books. I'm not sure how many people remember. It's just, you know, the biggest problem is like with my channel, I suppose, is there's so many to sort through. I try to break them up, but some of the more interesting ones, like Darkhawk, only fit into the category of, you know, I did a review of this. No, Rob. Well, not yet. Anyway, he might show up later. You never know. He's been dropping by fairly often. It's been fun. But the Marvel Fantasy book, the Wills book. Are we talking about there's the one you did with Chris Claremont. It's like Creatures of the Night or some shit. I don't remember what it's called now. Sound of the Night. Hang on, I'll find it here. Legion of Night. There we go. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Well, that's all vampires, I think. No, I didn't cover that one yet. I was looking at that online and going like, I don't know. I probably should at some point. I think it's a little bit pricey. Maybe not as bad as I remember though. $91. It's like $6 an issue. It's like, yeah, it's not bad. Again, I probably should check it out at some point. Let's black everything out down here because this is starting to feel a little awkward here. Yeah, but no, I didn't check that one out. One of these days, maybe. There are a bunch of books where it's like, oh shit, yeah, I talked about that book for like 25 minutes, didn't I? I'm pretty sure there's got to be a couple in there where I'm like, you know, if you asked me about it, I'd be like, I don't know, I don't. Does that book exist? It's like, yeah, man, you talked about it for 40 minutes back in 2024. It's like, oh, did I like it? Will Spartasio is, yeah, he was one of the greats in the early 90s. Like, I mean, you know, he's still one of the greats in that he's, you know, he does still produce some work every once in a while, but like, I don't think anything touches his, like his stuff on Punisher. I haven't really looked at it. I should some point, but it's, again, it's just a little bit pricey to get them in bulk. His X Factor issues I have always loved because I checked those out when they were coming off the rack. I thought his Wetwork stuff was good at first, but again, I think once he started, it's something I've said recently about Jim Lee. Once he started making that money, that big image money, I think it became less and less motivating to really crack down and get pages done, and to really think about them, you know, like to come up with interesting compositions. Just like I'm just gonna crank them out. That seems like more fun. This guy just kind of seems to be like watching, and this is like when you're in a hockey fight. You know, like a hockey fight breaks out on the ice, and two guys kind of go and just wrap their arms around each other so that it looks like they're involved, but and they won't get called out. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, I try to be. I feel like it's getting to a point with Jim Lee where I don't know if that's possible anymore because I've looked at so much of his stuff, and so often it's not up to what is in the standard in my head, which unfortunately is Uncanny 275, which is the best thing he's ever drawn. You know? That was a good deal more than a page. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. He's not just about money. It is definitely his main priority in a lot of ways, but I think he does care about drawing. I think he does enjoy it. Because, like, you know, if you know about Jim Lee, then you know it. Like, his dad was a doctor, and his dad wanted him to follow in his footsteps. And Jim Lee went to medical school, but he didn't want to do that. What he wanted, he was getting excited about American comics, and he's like, I want to do this. And he's like, and the deal he made with his parents was like, I'm going to try this for a year. If it looks like I might be able to make as much money at this as I was, as I could have as a doctor, then I'm going to stick with it. So that's what he did. I don't know if he was making that kind of money in the first year, but he was probably well on his way. Well, like, Jim Lee's focus has always been with the bottom line in mind, where it's like, okay, yeah, it's, you know, like I said, I think he does enjoy drawing, but it is with the knowledge that we need to make money at this, and we have the ability to make a shit ton, so we should do that. Or at least in 1991 we did. Otherwise, my dad will be mad at me, you know. He does like drawing, wouldn't have done it in the first place. Yeah, well, I mean, there's people who are in comics who I don't think like drawing very much. Honestly, one of them is Rob Liefeld. I don't think he likes drawing comics. Anyway, I should clarify. I think he likes drawing like a cool shot of a dude that you would just kind of draw in a notebook in high school. Excuse me. Last great Jim Lee work was on Batman Hush, which I never read. I was fully out on superhero comics. I was fully out on Jim Lee by the time he was doing Hush. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of reason for that there. Okay, you know what? You can just try and black all this stuff in and see how it works. There's kind of enough going on, really, I think. And if we have a lot of black at the bottom, it might help to draw more attention to shock block at the top, which is the point. He does like drawing. Yeah, we'll just keep playing. Rob is one of the biggest comics fans I've ever seen. Oh, sure. Loves all comics. Name drop stuff you wouldn't. I think he name drops stuff that he's read. I don't know how much he enjoys it, but I think he feels like he has to stay on top of some things. But no, I don't question Rob's love of comics. I never would do that, I don't think. He does get very excited about them still. It is interesting to me that... okay, this is kind of unrelated to Rob, but that a lot of the Image founders, like, comics wasn't their first love. Like that wasn't their primary focus in their life at first. Like Silvestri didn't get into comics because he desperately wanted to draw, this comic, that comic, whatever. He did it because he didn't want to get a real job. And he was good at drawing. And enjoyed it, but it was like this seems easier than driving a truck. Todd McFarlane very much wanted to be a baseball player. Then his knee got fucked up and he was like, oh, you know what? I draw stuff. Maybe I should get into comics. Sylvester's real as fuck. I mean, I don't disagree with him. And if I could draw like Mark, like just like on command like that, that'd be fucking amazing. Oh yeah, no, I totally sympathize with Silvestri. It's just, wait a minute, so this wasn't what your main pursuit was, but you still got to be that good at it anyway? How the fuck does that work? Maybe I don't need these things in the background here. I don't think they're adding much. Probably better to have clear separation. Maybe Happy Gilmore, the best at something you don't care the most about. Yeah, that's true. Oh, that sucks, man. My sympathies for your wife there. It is coming along too. More of it's getting done than I thought would be. You know, maybe finishing this thing today isn't completely out of the question. PKU. I'm not familiar with that. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to grab a quick smoke. I'm going for a little while. Can stretch out the knee and see how it's doing. Glad I remembered the brace at least. Yoink. And you're in the white. Don't want it pulling up black. Is it in? It is in. Okay. I will be back shortly. All right, just a second there. Okay. Hey, it's Rob. How you doing, man? Hey, Kairu, how you doing? If you want to, there's a link in the description for my link tree. And that'll give you like my Instagram and all that. If you want to DM me your stuff there, I can take a look. And hey, Big Lord, how's it going? Realizing I'm not leaving much of a space here for the signature at the end. There, we'll put it at the quarter here. So we definitely need a couple of dudes here. I like the swords going every which way, but you do ideally want a few going towards shock block, I think. Sure. Looks like an inch ahead, roughly. Do the Matumbo. And I would never wag my finger at making Liefeld content. That would be hypocritical, and we all know I'm no hypocrite at all. Not even a little. It's the giving money to Liefeld directly that I take issue with. Not for you. Anybody doing it on their own, you know, that's your choice. I just can't do it. So, you know, I get my stuff late. I'm never going to be on the cutting edge of the Rob stuff, I don't think, but my conscience is clean. The idea of like going on Rob's website and like just asking for something, you know, it feels like I'm not being honest here. It's like the inherent assumption is that I want this Rob stuff. And it's like, no, I don't. At all, really. I'm not enjoying it, but I can't stop talking about it. That's my problem. It's an addiction, really. Honestly, in the case of the Acrobats thing, I feel like you did a public service. Because, I mean, I'm sure there's people who were thinking about buying that. And then they, you know, if they take a look at your thing, it's like, oh, maybe not. Like, even if a couple of people do that, you've done some good. At some cost. To your wallet, if not to your immortal soul. But, there was a benefit, so I feel like that gets weighed. That helps to set a bit of a counterweight on the scales. One guy said that he was thinking about buying it and didn't after he saw your video. Is that what you said? All right, Robo. Thanks for sticking around, man. It's been fun. Because if that's the case, that you know that's like justification. That's okay. That's all right then. That's awesome. That's justification for the video in and of itself. That's like taking the hit to make the play. You know, taking one for the team. Well. I feel like whenever I get into sports metaphors, I'm running a risk of losing people, but I feel like that one's fairly universal. Hey, Monty, how's it going? Starting early. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What the heck are you talking about? Does daylight savings work different where you are? Now we're finding out that Monty is just finding out I usually start at 11. This is why you're always coming at the end of streams. I think that's I think that's more just when you come on. It's not like I time my streams for when you decide to jump in, but I'm sorry. Okay, so you're so Jerry, you're on the Eastern Standard then, I take it. That's a weird looking whatever that is, but sure. I should time that. I know, right? What am I thinking? This is why I haven't blown up the way I want to yet. I'm not hitting that sweet spot yet. Well, it'd be the entire eastern seaboard, right? Would be Eastern Standard. So like the Carolinas, Florida, all them shits. Let's let this in too, because we don't need to know what his stance is. I don't think that'll help me at all. Rad's from New York. Okay. So now we know one. Jerry's in Kentucky. Monty, you're like New Mexico, right? It's been a while since I asked. I know Rob's like Utah. Arizona. Okay, okay. End is New Mexico. Yeah, fuck. I knew one of you guys was. And okay's like Columbia or some shit. From New York, currently in Arizona. Okay. Well, I mean, if we're going by where we're from, I'm not from BC. I'm from Ontario. The home of Wizard Magazine. All right. If you ever see Garrett, give him a slap upside the head for me. I guess this guy's just got a stick. He's so happy about this stick. Just like, yo, I'm involved. Yep, give him a slap for Rob too. Absolutely. See, he wrapped the stick and everything. He's like, he wasn't prepared in terms of equipment, but he did what he could, and we should respect his commitment. You used to see him at the shop. Okay. That'd be weird. It's like, hey, you're partially responsible for the downfall of comics. How you feel about that? That was one thing I found interesting about, what was it? What was that parody thing you were looking at recently? Avenger Aid. That was it. It felt like Liefeld was committed to like spilling secrets about the industry, like telling how it is, talking about how, you know, you got to pay to get coverage from Wizard, because that was the deal. Either with cash or with exclusive interviews with artists, or with being invited to events and hobnobbing. Because Garib was of the opinion that he was basically setting, he was the decider for what was cool and what was not in comics. And I mean, to an extent, he was right, but like, you know, like, way to abuse it. How long have I lived in BC? Since 2002. So 24 years coming up on. Ontario was the first half. BC's been the second half. So like what? So like do that then, right? I want to see that article. Yeah, so 11 for you is 11 for me. That will help you in the future. Yeah, no daylight savings anymore. But I mean, we're like this year was the last one, but we are past it now. This guy is getting a little out of control. Here, hang on. He's got a very wide stance, but that's his right. He's allowed to do that, and we can't judge him for it. Or we can, but we got to keep it to ourselves. Hey, Taki, how's it going? Or Takix? A whole lot of just folds flying around here. soon enough. Not soon enough is what I'll say. Because I don't have it right now. There's the question, like, what is this guy standing on? Doesn't matter. Rocks, probably. There's probably rocks. Oh, no. We're not on the that's what she said jokes already, are we? I haven't seen John show up yet. Speaking of, pour some sugar on me. Oh, standing on corpses. That is, yeah, that is more likely. Nope, shit. Oh, there's my other eraser. And I knew it was Avenger Blade. Or Avenge Blade. But I got to go with the bit, right? The Avenger Aid. Is turning into best song for strippers at the club? I don't think I disagree. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody dance to it, but that would certainly work. I remember seeing one girl do one to Living Dead Girl while I was still into Rob Zombie, and I thought that was amazing. And that was 25 years ago. Jesus Christ. This thing's getting very. All the hairs are coming loose on this thing. don't think this arm matches up with this guy at all, actually. Not really, no. So get rid of that. It's kind of the argument against just fucking around with brushes here. So not sure where Dega's going to base the whole comic character on her looks. Sure. I mean, why not? You never know when inspiration's going to strike, right? Stay put. Oh, I don't have another piece of tape down here. I need to fix that. Spikes in the back. Oh, that's like just light shocky stuff. It felt like a Mignola kind of element. Does Voodoo have something to do with Dr. Dre? Is Dr. Dre the original creator of Voodoo all along? But I basically needed some kind of background element to separate these blacks up here from these blacks down here. So that was the idea with the shock thing here. And you know, like I said, it felt like it fit. So I guess maybe we are going to finish this today. That'd be kind of nice. I don't have to dread this thing anymore. There's been some fun in here, though. Yeah, it's getting there. I assume this would be another like stream or two after this. Just because it's like, oh, it's one of those things I don't want to finish, really. But, you know, one of the good things about doing a Mignola style is it is minimalist to some extent. So I'm not like I'm sitting on a page forever, noodling, hatching, what have you. And, you know, not enjoying myself, but having to add on more lines all over the place, right? I kind of want to leave this divot in the sword here. That's not the worst thing. It's meh, and it's one I'm not fond of, you know? It's not the worst thing. Shock Block looks okay. And like the idea for the cover is fun, even if the execution isn't quite where I want it to be. I don't think the execution's terrible, you know. Like part of it is me creating my own problem in that I don't plan these things out well enough. Like I'm aware of it. It's just I don't fix it, you know. I go get distracted by something else, and then all of a sudden it's Sunday at 10:55, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm drawing that shock block thing. Oh, that should have been. I'm gonna need a little bit more white out here. There's all sorts of white out we'll need. It might work when it's colored. Yeah, that might not be the worst thing. I don't know who's gonna color it for free though, because I got nothing right now. No, that's true. Even Jim had some standing people boring shots that he's not happy with. I'm sure. But he made, he made money off them, so I'm sure there's a sense of satisfaction at least that they did their job, those shots. I'm still blacking in that lightning bolt, aren't I? I am too. Dumbass. And hey Bubble, how's it going? Thank you very much. Stan Bush trying to cheer me on here. Okay, let's get some whiteout going. It's dry mostly. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Also, I never bend and I never break. I love how every line in this song is a cliche. There isn't a single one that doesn't belong in an action movie somewhere. Or, some kind of motivational speaker. Or some other song from the 80s. Hey, if you want to take a shot with the color, that'd be awesome. Just remember flat color. It's the Mignola way. wobbly. I agree. I agree with Mike. "Dare" is my song on this. That's my song. It's actually somewhat inspirational for some reason. So let's hear some "Dare." Where is it? Fuck. Although Slade isn't bad either. Oh, it's right at the bottom here. Okay, we'll come back to "Dare." Okay. Why does it feel like... Okay, that's getting... Also needs to get blocked in. Oh, thank you for the battery check. I forgot again. What are we at? Probably in the 30s now. I think we are at 37. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go... the plan was kind of to go for another hour, I think-ish. We'll see. Basically, I think when I finish this thing, which I don't know if that's going to be an hour. That might be less. Green, black, and white. Run, run away. Let's just get a couple more swords flying up in the background here. I think this arm needs to get blacked in more. We should co-stream again soon. I agree, absolutely. I said a while back, I got to get back to jumping on somebody's stream. I haven't done it in a long time, and then I didn't do anything about that. So yeah, whenever you're down, man, I'm down. What do we need here? I feel like this thing needs texture. Sure, I don't know what that texture is, but absolutely. The Robin Mitch report. What are we reporting on? Liefeld? I feel like that the Rob and Mitch report would mostly be Rob reporting shit to Mitch. And Mitch going, huh. We can debate the merits of Jim Lee's X-Men issue 5. Oh, I'm down. Are you pro X-Men 5 or con? I'm pro the cover. After that, I'm out. Yeah, but this fight has guys on both sides who are just kind of watching, going, "Wow, this is getting crazy." Pro, but all through nostalgia, childhood love. Have you looked through that book again recently? Because that's the first one, I think, where Art T Bear is starting to do finishes. Is it though? It's before Sabretooth shows up. Yeah, it is. Jim Lee's largely doing breakdowns, and he's boring. He is not thinking about page layouts at all, in my opinion. What do we need here? Is there anything else we need? A whole lot of just wrinkles in the background here that get kind of confused. So that's something to keep track of in future. This guy here, did I leave the stove on? I think it's more just... Well, originally they were all going to have like demonic eyes, and then I decided, no, they weren't going to do that. And then I forgot to change his, and it's like, okay, maybe he's the guy who's instigated all this. Now I gotta look at Mike Mignola's signature. And then add more stuff afterwards, which feels like breaking the rules a bit. Saying you're on, just going to take the opposite position. Absolutely, absolutely. We need contrarians. That's how you get clicks. Okay, come on, just get me to a cover. How does he sign his stuff? Oh, with like a... Oh, I thought he did with like just the initials. Oh well. Good enough, I suppose. It's funny because I'm like, okay, now what do we touch up? What do we throw hatching on? It's like nothing if you want to keep this the way you said you wanted to keep it. There's like a little bit of just texture hatching he likes to throw on things. So maybe I can get away with a bit of that. Did we just become best friends? I think like we did that line a while back. There we go. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else really needs to be added to this. Again, just now throwing on lines because I'm uncomfortable with how much space there is. I guess that's it. Shit. Maybe be a little bit more deliberate with the outline at the top here. Oh, and let's color in under the tape. That's usually a good idea. Oh, it does not want to stick. It's pulled up some of the paper. Not this stuff here. I don't think. I don't know. Now I'm second guessing. No, maybe it's not adding anything. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Okay. There's enough, because like Mignola will do that where he kind of creates a border, but it's not. It's in maybe simpler compositions to make them a little bit more visually interesting. I don't think it can. With how busy this thing is, I don't think it's necessary. This is going to be one wobbly piece of paper when it's done. The Canson stuff is not built for, loading up with ink. Okay, how well does that even read? Oh, is it getting all pixelated again? God damn it. I hate it when it does this shit. Here, turn that off for a second. How's it look right now? Not super pixelated, I think. It's still kind of pixelated. How well does it read? Not terrible, I think. And I mean, you could put a Blood Force thing right up here. That would work well. This doesn't look like a Ninja Star anymore, so let's just throw in some more. Just like spark things, I guess. I don't know if this is a Mignola thing or not. I don't think it is, but... Let's just throw a couple in the middle here, like they got a couple of them. I don't know. For it is a human number. Yeah, that's not the worst. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll let that go. Not much more we can do with it. Okay. It's not even been 3 hours. Lack of nails. Come on. There we go. And thanks, Monty. I think it's looking okay. Not, I'll put it up on Instagram. Why not? It's not gonna have the pride of place that the Sam Keith piece did for me, but you know, it didn't turn out poorly. So that's, you know, again, can't complain about that, I guess. Consider uncovering the logo. Yeah. Well, thanks, Rob. I appreciate it, man. It's like I said, it was an interesting exercise. It's just the fact that it didn't, you know, and again, I don't think it turned out bad. Like I think I'd be okay putting this in a book, like as a pinup or something. But it didn't do what I wanted it to do, which was look like Mike Mignola, or at least, you know, like close to Mike Mignola. Okay. So let's put you over here. Put you up here. What am I doing now? I might be calling it a day because I don't know what to draw now. Oh wow, Scott Lobdell got recommended to me on Instagram. Maybe I should follow. I'm following him. I'm gonna give him shit for being bad at dialogue. The battery was getting low. That's a good point. What's it at now? 34. It hasn't dropped much. I think I just plugged it in like half an hour ago. Okay, well, I mean, do you want to jump on now, Rob? Because, I mean, I can't, I don't know how to raid. I wish I did know how to do that, but I imagine anybody who knows me knows you anyway, so. Anybody wants to watch Rob go? Rob's gonna jump on now, apparently, or close to now. If you're down, and which is fine because that'll give me something to figure out for what to draw on Wednesday, and maybe do some editing. It's always good. Here, I'll put this back up here in the meantime. Cyclops versus Magneto. No. It's got to be Blood Force. Come on, man. Unless I'm getting paid otherwise. If you're paying me, I will totally draw Cyclops versus Magneto. Don't worry. All right. Anyway, I think I'll jump off now. Like I said, I kind of run out of shit to draw. So, okay. All right. Sounds good, man. Thanks very much for sticking around, guys. It's been a good time. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Enjoy Rob's stream. There we go. All right. Peace out, guys.